show you how I disassemble and clean my Kopykake Airbrush gun. To start, I make sure that I get rid of all of the coloring that's in there. I turned it on and turned the dial all the way up, and I'm running it under hot water to completely clean it out. Then I want to disconnect the rubber hose from the gun. And now I have this little lock and lock container, and I'm going to store all of the parts in here. I like that it's a rectangle shape so it fits everything. To start, I'm going to unscrew this really tiny piece at the end. You want to make sure that you don't drop these. A lot of these pieces can be really small, and I'm putting them in that little bin. And then there's another little piece here that you can unscrew, and it was on there so tight, and I couldn't get it unscrewed, so I was just leaving it there. If you can unscrew that piece, go ahead and do it. And then I'm unscrewing that end piece and sticking that in the little container. And there's a little tapered piece here that you have to unscrew that goes around the needle, and then I can unscrew this part that holds the needle in, and this takes a little while to unscrew, but just be patient with it. And then I want to remove that little spring, and then I want to pull out this needle, and you want to be very careful with it. There is another piece attached to it here, but you don't want to bend the tip of the needle. It's very important that that stays straight. So I carefully remove the piece that was surrounding the needle, and I'm putting both of those into the bin. And then there is this little trigger here, so I have to twist it to be able to get it out because it has a little T-bar in it. And there's also another very tiny piece that goes in front of the trigger. And then I have the rest of this gun. So all of that goes in that container, and I have this airbrush cleaner, and I'm going to fill the container and make sure all of the pieces are submerged in here. I'm going to put the lid on, set that aside for an hour up to 24 hours you can do so it can soak. And then I'm running hot water, and I'm running all these pieces under hot water, and I'm setting them aside on folded paper towels. And then once I have all of that done, I'm pouring the airbrush cleaner back into a bottle to store it. You can use it a few times before it goes bad. Now I'm starting with the big piece, and let's assemble this. So I have this little trigger here, and I want to make sure that wide end is facing down, and I have to twist it in again. It has that little T-bar, so I'm holding it to the side and then twisting it, and I'm pushing that forward. And then I'm using tweezers to pick this up because it's so small. Do you see how it curves on one side? So I want to put it in on an angle and then twist it, so I want that curved part facing me, and I want that little nubbin to stick out at the top. And now I'm taking this little piece here that goes in the back. There's a flat part on there, and you want the flat part to face down. It will only fit if the flat part is facing down. And then I'm going to put on the spring, and I'm going to screw this piece in. Remember, this takes a while to screw in, so I'm just going to speed that up here. And once that's in, make sure it's very tight. You can test it by pulling back the trigger, making sure it works. I'm threading that needle through there, and you can see the point is sticking out of the tip. And again, you want to make sure you do not bend the tip of that needle. It's very important that it stays straight. Then I'm taking this piece, the tapered end is facing out, and I'm screwing that on. And then I'm going to screw on that final cone piece. And now I need to screw on this piece on the front. And again, it's very small. You need to be very careful. But make sure everything is really tight when you're screwing it back together. And then I want to reattach the hose by just sliding that all the way up that bottom section. And I'm going to turn it on, turn the dial all the way up, and run some hot water through it. Pull the trigger all the way back, just making sure that it is going through the gun and there are no clogs. And then when I'm finished, I like to wrap the rubber tubing around the cord and then put it aside in a drawer until I'm ready to use it again.